Alrighty, y'all. Hello and welcome back to a collection of some of the most insane, coolest videos I've ever found from the European region, mostly, maybe a couple outliers. Let's waste no time. This is going to be fun. All right, starting out with something called the air car. I always feel like I read on the internet of random experimental cars and flying cars and stuff like that. And I never know if, how real they are, how feasible they are. It's not something I guess I'd ever consider personally, but I think it's kind of fun, at least from like a engineering and science perspective. This one's actually from Slovakia. So shout out to Slovakia. Let's check this out. Wow. Mute it because of the music. That's unfortunate. This thing is pretty crazy. I love seeing, I know there's a lot of prototypes and stuff out there, but when you actually see one that actually works and like look at all this movement, right? This is awesome. Takes 2 minutes and it looks like a pretty cool car, honestly. The fact that it all folds together, it takes 2 minutes and can actually fold out to a plane. This is seriously impressive stuff. Like I said, I would be freaked out. I think there's way too much concerns, at least here in the U.S., letting random people purchase this and be able to fly. Yeah, definitely not going to happen anytime soon. But just the car itself, this is beyond impressive. Wow. Again, take a look at it from the front. It has a 160 horsepower BMW engine and a propeller at the back. I love how it even has a, proper license plate on it. Runs on regular petrol, so no need for weird, no jet fuel needed, right? And then you can see some footage of it really, like literally taking off, speeding up like a plane, getting some lift. And there she goes. That was a car a couple minutes ago. Can your car do that? That is insane, man. Incredible Pirates of the Caribbean parade float at the Zundert Flower Parade. Oh my God. Yo, this is absolutely phenomenal. I didn't realize this beginning part was actually part of it still, I think. Look at this. Oh my goodness, the detail on this, man. And of course, flower parades are just awesome, right? Dude, the amount of design and work and thought and labor involved in getting this to look like this. Yo, that is one of the coolest things I've ever seen in a parade. Bravo. Spanish customs chasing a smuggler boat. Yo, how freaky would that be? Imagine being in that smuggler boat and this is hovering right next to you. Holy smokes. Remember, watching videos is easy. Like, you have to actually picture being there. Helicopters are freaky, man, when they're coming down. Like, they're cool, right? They're almost freaky a little bit. But then imagine one, literally, you're on a boat going pretty fast in water. It's already a on-edge scenario, and there's a customs helicopter right there. They are not screwing around. Look at that. It is literally, you could touch it. They are not effing around at all. Wow, what a spectacular machine, and an even more impressive pilot for being able to hover fast, like keep up with this boat and hover over the water like that. This is insanity, man. This is more impressive than most stunts in movies. And this isn't a movie, this is real life. People are saying how intimidating this is. Also questioning, like, what's the end game here? How are they arresting these people? How are they getting them? All this stuff. I'm not really sure. I mean, if you guys know more, please comment. I think it was an immense display of talent by the pilot there. And like I said, this was cooler than most movies, and it wasn't a movie. Like, this is just real life. You know, as for the logistics with actual policing here, you know, I don't know, but I think this is pretty crazy. A drone goes 0 to 124 miles per hour, which is like around 180 or 190 kilometers per hour in 1 second. Holy shit. This is pretty cool. Okay, bicycle paths in Poland glow during the night, and they are charged by the sun. So, like during the day, right? Again, when you see technology in different countries, for me, especially when it comes to infrastructure, right? Something that's usually severely poor or outdated here in the US, I always appreciate this. This is super freaking cool. Super cool. How smart is this? Why isn't this more common, man? A W for Poland here. Now, this has copyrighted music, sadly, but I thought this was pretty awesome. I guess this is recent. Spider-Man, a newer Spider-Man movie is being filmed in Glasgow, Scotland, of course. And I just thought this was pretty cool. Looks like a beautiful city, right? A great backdrop to film any sort of action scene. And honestly, look at this. I mean, seeing Spider-Man very realistically swinging through the city, you know, I think it's awesome that they rigged up stunts like this. I mean, look at that. That is freaking thrilling, dude. Imagine being this. I'm assuming it would be a stuntman in that Spider-Man costume. How fun would this be? Wow. Like, it looks to be like he's chasing a tank or something for the movie's sake. And, you know, Glasgow just looking beautiful here. Great number of people turning out to see this. Now, how often do you get to literally see Spider-Man swinging through your city? This is cool. And yes, I agree with this comment. What's with the stupid song overlaid for no reason? The song is very loud, by the way. And of course, it's a famous, you know, copyrighted song. It adds nothing to the video, sadly. Hero rescues elderly man from drowning while onlookers merely watch and record. And according to the description of this is in Portugal. That guy doesn't look like he's doing well. What a brave man, dude. Jumping in. Swimming's one thing. Being able to save someone's life while you're trying to swim and help them onto, you know, ashore or onto the bridge, wherever. That's just a whole nother ball game, man. Wow. Oh my God, what a hero, dude. How brave, man. Now, you know, it says while onlookers merely watch and record. To a degree, they're correct, right? There's way too much nowadays of people just recording stuff and not helping the situation. That's pretty cringe, right? That definitely exists. Now, in this case, I wouldn't say exclusively every onlooker, you know, can screw themselves because they were just watching and recording. When it comes to water, I mean, this is a very, very dangerous situation, right? Thank goodness, thank God that this guy was able to save the day, at least from what I read. I believe this, you know, the man in the red shirt was able to live through this. But at the same time, you know, not everyone knows how to swim or swims much. And knowing how to swim and be able to save someone is like a whole nother level. And so I think it's fair to say also, like, it's not like anyone who's anyone can just go save someone from drowning, right? That's kind of a big ask. But anyway, luckily this guy is just a beast. Definitely a hero. Obviously, thank goodness people are helping now. For the credit, right? Jose Brito. It's happened in 2020, apparently. And when walking by with his son, he saw agitation nearby and went to have a look. Proceeded to rescue the old man without a thought. Old man is alive. Jose Brito is the best father in the world, according to his proud son, Brian. Yeah, I would say that's a fair title. Full article is on Portugal residents. So there you go. Very, very cool. Utmost respect for Jose Brito. proper legend. All right, this video takes place in Iceland. You can see we have a car with a dash cam trying to pass this bus. It's pitch black, nighttime. Pretty scary stuff. And you can see the bus actually turning on a left turn signal. And then cars pass by. And I'm thinking, at first, my first thought was he's turning on a signal to let this guy know, hey, you can pass. But he's actually doing the opposite. And luckily, his driver, I believe, knows it. He's left signaling when there's cars present. So he's showing, hey, there's cars coming. You can't go. And so he's doing him a solid, right? The bus is communicating well with this driver here. That's pretty crazy. This is something I've never seen personally in the U.S. People in the comments of this post actually mentioned that they don't think many Americans would be familiar with this. Although people say in other countries, it depends, but this is sort of like a universal system. Now, notice at the end, what I read here, what I learned is he turns on his right indicator. Okay, watch this. And that is letting this driver know you're clear. This is awesome. This is super awesome. And I wish drivers were more connected and friendly to each other and more courteous. And they certainly might be. I mean, it looks like they are in Iceland. So, again, good for you guys. That is W Iceland here. This is just not a thing here, of course, right? Why isn't this thing in the U.S.? Here, if you try to pass someone, they speed up. Everyone's pissed off at each other, and it becomes really dangerous really quick. Yeah, this is awesome. I'm jealous. This guy saves a seagull stuck in a lamppost. It says somewhere in Europe in the description, but it doesn't say where. But another kind of hero, right? This guy is awesome. How brave to be climbing the lamp post. That seagull is in a horrible position. You can see that they're trying to flap to get away. It looks like their head and neck is literally stuck in between, these two pieces of the lamp. There it is. Bravo. Yeah, that is awesome, man. It's cool to see heroes like this being documented, right? Throughout the world, a lot of good people do some awesome stuff and they step up when no one else can do it. And, a lot of them go unnamed, right? But when they can get some credit and some recognition, it's awesome. I love seeing positive stuff like this. Really, really cool. This man's front door opens to pure snow. Had to dig to see daylight. This is in Norway. Oh my goodness, I have never seen snow like that in my life. Why is he in a t-shirt, by the way? just throwing that out there. I'm a little more mind blown by that. Oh my God, I would always assume Norway gets snow. But how much snow are we talking? Is this normal? I mean, this is insanity. Oof. It's also scary because snow is like treacherous stuff when you're talking about this much. And also, like, it's very hard on your body, hard to work with. Like, him just climbing through that snow is a lot of work. And, a lot of people have heart attacks and stuff shoveling snow. It's very dangerous stuff if you're not careful. So I hope he's careful and, like, catches his breath a little bit. Not to mention, how is he not freezing? But, yeah, this is pretty crazy. Norway always has looked like a beautiful place, but also a place you really got to respect it certain times of the year when it comes to the weather. Now, this next one is crazy. Apparently, there's a real train line that goes through a soccer field. And this is in Slovakia. So back to Slovakia for this one. There's literally a game going on. Well, that's pretty cool. I can safely say I have never witnessed that. Never witnessed that over here playing sports. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. It's one of those things where I guess it works. No one's ever updated it, right? I'm assuming, that came first. Did they just decide to build a football field around this or what? I mean, what's the story here? It's odd, but then again, if it works, it works. It's kind of cool. Definitely unique. A village in Italy surrounded by mountains gets sunlight using a giant mirror. This is crazy. You could see the explanation. The sunlight coming in, hits this mirror on the top of this mountain peak, and then aims right down at this village in this, in the valley here. And it's pretty intense. I wonder almost, is this good? I mean, I guess it is because they're doing this on purpose. I feel like that concentrated sunlight, wouldn't it kind of burn or right, or be too concentrated? I don't know that for a fact. It's just what my mind kind of goes to when I see that. That feels weird almost. Then at the same time, it's kind of cool. It's also freaky. As someone who loves mountains, they're also freaky when there's, huge mountains have such a presence to them, almost like an energy to them. And man, this place being buried way in there. I mean, you can see how big these things are. Wow. I mean, they're literally in their own pocket, their own little world in there. So much so that they barely get any sunlight because the mountains are so tall surrounding them. I've always thought that must be such a unique situation living somewhere like that. And definitely not for everyone, but for someone that would want to live there, it's probably paradise. People claim in the comments 1 or 2 towns in Norway do this as well. So if you know of any, let me know. My question also is, how much sun does this get, right? Because if this mirror is in a fixed position, it's only going to get sunlight for a little bit at the right angle, right? Otherwise, it's going to be shining over here or over there. Okay, now this one is absolutely wild. I'm probably blurring it at some point. Not that I want to, but YouTube sucks, honestly. They, a lot of their policies don't let you have any fun anymore. But let me just give you some context. I'm probably unblurring it somewhere around now. This guy literally just got hit by a double-decker bus. This is in the UK. And I guess Brits are built different. This guy gets up and literally casually walks into the pub. Nothing is stopping this guy from getting in the pub. I hate to laugh at someone that just got hit, but I mean, when he gets up and walks in like a badass to the pub, I mean, I think it's okay to laugh, right? I mean, he's all right. He's just built different. As soon as he snapped out of his ragdoll animation, he resumed his programmed route. Yeah, I mean, like people say, it was like he was an NPC straight out of a video game. What a beast. I don't know what else to say. That is wild. Dude responds like it was a minor inconvenience. I stubbed my toe and I need a week off. Facts, man. I am humble enough to admit I am not tough like this guy. No, this guy's on a whole nother ball game here. I'm going to cut it there, a little short today because I'm running late, so I want to get this up at a reasonable time. So I hope you enjoyed that. So much more to look at, and we will look at very soon. I thoroughly do enjoy these. I appreciate you watching as well. Hope to see you in the next one. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. Until next time, y'all. I'll catch you later.